Hey, let's start with this quick turnaround that you've had. Can you kind of just give us a rundown of like the preparation to getting here for this early start after a late game on Friday?
Yeah, obviously a challenge on many levels. You have it on the emotional level, coming off that win, but also then the physical, and then on top of this, the preparation for the series with a very, very limited time. So we did everything we could in those three areas, and I feel good about where we are.
Jordan Davis with the Oklahoman. Coach, it's obviously your first, go round as a head coach in a playoff game, and you playing against one of, if not the best team in the NBA record-wise. For you, what goes into it preparation-wise, and kind of how do you channel that heading into a high-stakes series like this?
Yeah, first time in the NBA. We prepare for each game the same way. What gives us the best chance to win today. That's how we are approaching this game. Like I said, we had a short preparation for this game, but it's a team that we played already several times this season. We know they're a very tough opponent, probably the toughest one that you can get historically. Best regular season team ever from a performance standpoint. A lot of challenges there. We are the simple thing is to do as well as we can today and then adjust going forward.
Christina Santiago with Channel 8. What's the key to handling OKC's fast pace for today?
Well, I think it's more than their fast pace. I think if we talk about like teams that play with pace, we're right up there with any other team. I think the challenge with them is that they're very good in taking the pace away from the other team. So they have the best transition defense in the whole league, and that's been one of our biggest cornerstones the whole year. The second thing that we got to be good at is controlling the rebounds on both ends, because that also helps controlling the pace.
Coach Kristaps and Clutch Points, talked to Coach before you came in just about the pressure of not playing a perfect game, but just playing your A game, especially now that it's all 0-0. The records are clean.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of pressure on us. I'm sure there's pressure on them. They're huge favorites in this series, in this game. They must get 2 wins here at home. So I think we're in a very good spot mentally as it comes to that. And I've always believed that games are won on average plays, not the highlight plays. And the more we can have high-level average plays and do the things that have gotten us this far, that's going to be the best solution to us.
It seems like your commitment with Zack Edey has elevated since you took over, getting more minutes. Even when Golden State went small against you guys, you stuck with him. Why is he important to you? What does he bring that you like? And can we expect that this series?
Well, if I say in most simple terms, what does he bring us? He brings us winning basketball. I mean, we've been terrific with him on the floor in the last 10 games. I think our net rating is above 20 with him on the floor, which is ridiculous. And he pairs up really well with Jaren Jackson. He does a lot of things that are not easy to see, because he's a possession game winner, cleans up the boards on defensive end after he has served as a rim deterrent for the other team. Then he's been getting better and better in transition game. He's sprinting the floor. He's creating mismatches right off the bat. He gets our guards open for shots or triggers the dominoes. And after this, with him, we are a very strong offensive rebounding team. So I would kind of flip it around and say, what does he not give us? So it's more than.
Yeah, it's Larry Trammell with the Tulsa World. Sorry to make you rehash something, but can you give those of us that haven't been around you much a quick lesson on Finnish basketball and how you got to this point at fairly such a young age?
Yeah, I appreciate you calling me young. It's a different world, obviously. Finnish basketball has been on the rise since the early 2000s, thanks to a national team program that was very well designed and ran by Henrik Detman, and there are a lot of talented Finnish coaches came through because we had a lot of meaning in the daily work, and that's also produced great players like Lauri Markkanen, for example, for Utah, but I've moved away from Finland in 2016. playing. So that's been over 9 years now, and I obviously have roots there, but it's everybody carves out their own path, and I see myself more as an international coach at this point.
Yeah, Coach Will Giller with The Athletic. With Zack, you talked after the Golden State game about, not necessarily allowing individual plays to change how you use them and just trusting what the numbers tell you. How important is that going to be during this series, especially against a team that focuses so much on mismatch hunting?
Yeah, it's important in every game. I mean, during the game you have to use feel. You have to have a plan going in, but you have to have feel. But then you also have to understand that, especially talking about in the game, but after a game, the sample size is very small. The sample size is still small, even in a 7-game series. So you have to trust the bigger sample sizes, and at the same time understand that each game and each, let's say, series is going to ask for different things because the context is different from the other team. So it's all about finding that balance, and I think that's what experience gives you.
You mentioned the pace and their ability to stop you from getting in transition, but how important will it be defensively for you guys to get back and not turn the ball over and give them easy baskets?
It will be very important, obviously, because they're a very athletic team with several ball handlers, guys that can push. Their bigs are good decision makers, also with the ball, and their disruption defensively leads to a lot of transition opportunities, and they do a good job with that. And overall, it will be one of the keys, in my opinion, to the whole series, that can we tilt that to our advantage, their disruption and their being in the gaps, or does it benefit them in creating turnovers and going the other way?
Oftentimes in playoff series, lineup and rotation adjustments happen over the course of the series. Was there any conversation with you and the other coaches about opening the rotation back up relative to the pretty tight 8-man you've been running with different players versus, going with what you think is going to work and then waiting to see what happens and maybe adjusting from there?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's one of the major conversation points going into a playoff series, is how we kind of see it evolving, and then you go into game one and you see how your ideas as a coaching staff, how they react with reality. So how they interact, and as you said, there's a lot of, sometimes it can call for a lot of different adjustments during the playoff series. But we've discussed all possible scenarios. We always have a plan B and plan C in case we want to go a different route, because I really believe in the fact, I think it was Bill Walsh who said that you make much better decisions, 48 hours before the game than during the game, when you're in an emotional state and focused and you have so many things that you need to focus on. So I believe in very much preparation, and our staff believes in preparation. So having those different scenarios, trying to figure them out, and then we can cycle through them if necessary during the game. But again, goes back to the small sample size thing. You have to be very careful not to make those adjustments because of shooting luck, for example, but to try to have some actual signal instead of noise.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.